Knowledge translation is the so what of research. It's all about bridging the gap between knowing and doing, between information and action, between evidence and practice. Some people are primarily knowledge generators, like researchers and academics, and some people are primarily knowledge users, like doctors, patients, and policymakers. Knowledge translators are like intermediaries. They develop the media, the platforms, and the tools to help move knowledge from the people who discover it to the people who can use it. So knowledge translators are principally concerned with the real-world ramifications that research has on practice, and policy, and on people. If what you are learning right now as a researcher is going to have value and relevance in people's lives, if it's going to inform what they do, they need to know that your research exists, they need to know where to find it, they need to be able to understand it, and they need to know what to do with it. This raises all the big questions of knowledge translation. How do you convert information into action? How do you turn data into potential behavior change? How do you articulate what you know in such a way that other people can use it to make decisions? Well, the reason knowledge translation exists is that there is obviously not one single answer to any of these questions. It depends entirely on what the knowledge in question is, on who the potential recipients are, and what the implications are if that knowledge is put into practice. So some knowledge translators work with researchers to write grants and funding proposals that clearly articulate how potential study findings can be implemented in practice. And sometimes knowledge translators themselves are embedded in these studies. Knowledge translators also work with scientists to help transfer specific knowledge to specific groups like community organizations or healthcare professionals. Knowledge translators also work with policymakers to help make sure that they have access to relevant and accurate data. Knowledge translation is a two-way street. It's not just about moving information from knowledge generators to knowledge users, but it's about creating intentional feedback loops so that the people who are impacted by research can themselves inform the research questions that researchers are asking. So what knowledge do you have to share? And how will the feedback that you receive from the recipients of your knowledge inform the questions that you ask next? This is what knowledge translation is all about.